the day.
Yeah, exciting battles going to start right now. Let's see Empoleon in the beginning, and we see the Heliolisk
coming in here, and the matchup that the West does not want to see. He's going to immediately pivot out, I think, here. No, going actually for one charge attack first before swapping into that safe swap. Licky, continuing to just get a bit of energy there. Looks like Thelukarr is staying in, getting up some energy, trying to catch, but at this point, it looks like he was successful here. No shield and a body slam to boot.
Body slam onto a ghost type Pokemon is not what you want to throw, but of course this is still actually not even the best matchup there because you're going to have now the Shadow Ball still available, and the Seed Bomb is not going to do enough damage to knock out the Licky, quite a bulky Pokemon, can take a Seed Bomb from a Gourgeist quite well.
Going ahead, just charging up a little bit of extra energy here. I wonder if West is going to go for the full 3. Yes, he is going to go for 3 rollouts before throwing the Shadow Ball. Wants to throw on optimal timing and gets that first Protect Shield off the side of Thelukarr.
Yeah, maybe Thelukarr tries to keep the alignment as we had already the Electric type against the Water type Pokemon in the lead. But the Shadow Ball is going to be no shielded, but this is okay because this should not do enough damage yet to knock out the Gourgeist, and Gourgeist still can fire off a Seed Bomb.
Wow, getting there, hanging on by just a thread, and actually getting the Protect Shield off of West's side there. That Licky wants to stay in the matchup, wants to dictate what is going to be seen because the Empoleon just has such a bad matchup against that Heliolisk. But now being able to almost completely farm down, does Thelukarr want to use Protect Shield here? Yes, he does.
Yeah, you kind of want to do that. Heliolisk cannot take those hits very well, but also you can have now the option to boost yourself up with that Parabolic Charge, but here also Breaking Strike would be doing super effective damage against the Dragon type of Altaria.
Going up with so much energy already. There are no Protect Shields used on West's side there. Breaking Swipe has to connect. It is super effective, and it also lowers the attack. Now actually swapping out here into Altaria of the side of Thelukarr, and this is the matchup that West was hoping for.
Absolutely, as now the Dragon Breath going to be resisted, of course, with a Steel typing, and also the Sky Attack can't be fired. So the only thing that Luke can do here now is go for that Flamethrower, which is not doing that much damage because it's also just going to be a neutral hit thanks to the Water typing of Empoleon. We see the immediate no shield here.
Going ahead, using that Flamethrower, it will connect. It doesn't even come close to knocking out, just getting up a ton of extra energy. These Dragon Breaths are not doing too much, but West over-farming here a little bit, and now already another Flamethrower is ready to go. It does get that last Protect Shield.
This is going to be very close because we still have that Heliolisk here, but there's going to be 2 moves stored, and we see the swap out onto the Droplex. That's going to be resisted damage.
It is, but we have to remember, like you said before, Heliolisk is not the bulkiest of Pokemon, and it's going to be knocked down to the red here. And actually, Empoleon going for the second one before Heliolisk is able to throw off a charge attack.
This is going to be interesting because now the Altaria, though, has the option to maybe farm down that Empoleon, but we see the immediate stop out there, and this is looking like the Altaria is going to be able to get the Sky Attack off first to win this mirror matchup.
You see West nodding, you see the Sky Attack being thrown here as he takes game number 1, proving that even if you lose the lead, it doesn't mean that you're going to lose the game.
Yeah, this is going to be it for this one. Heliolisk in action for the first time, but wasn't able to win this battle, sadly, even though it was aligned in the correct spot there. Interesting Pokemon Heliolisk for sure. I was never going to see it for the second battle.
I want to kind of talk about the mid-game there that we had between it, because so West led an Empoleon into actually Empoleon's worst thing on the side of Thelukarr, which was that Heliolisk. And he used the Licky as what we call a safe swap. So that is when, you know, you have a really bad lead and you're choosing a Pokemon that is pretty neutral across the meta, that you know that you're not going to get hard countered with the swap as well.
Yeah, and this is basically why the Licky is so prominent in the current meta. It's because it is so safe. There are next to no direct counters to this Pokemon. You really would need to bring a counter Pokemon that isn't really that common in the meta currently in order to just counter this specific Pokemon, which might be worth it, which we saw as well in the last regional, where a few players were bringing some fighting type Pokemon just for that Licky. And again, like it can completely shift those battles. If you don't have an answer, which most players don't have because there are not really a lot of good ones, it's just very tough to deal with this Pokemon.
I guess that's why it's #1 usage here day 1 in Utrecht. Let's see as we hop into game number 2 how these will play out. We have Altaria up against, once again, a Bug Bite Fortress, so it's not going to be doing as much damage there to the bird in the sky.
It's not doing that much damage, and we're gonna see the swap out to catch the flamethrower. This is an amazing catch here, as it's going to be resisted damage coming up against the other Altaria here from Thelukarr. What a catch that was, because now you also have a little bit of an energy lead there as well for Thelukarr, which is going to allow you now to get to the sky attack a little bit faster than the other Altaria from West.
I like this, going ahead and just throwing it immediately as well, either threatening a shield or getting that Altaria on the side of West down fairly low. No Protect Shield to use, and now it looks like he's banked up a ton of energy and coming in with that Clefable.
Clefable up here right now is going to have a great time resisting those Dragon Breath damage, but then also Sky Attack is not going to do that much damage, is it?
Going ahead now, just West saving the shields for a rainy day. It looks like charging up a ton of energy. This is what we call a bait, but even still, no Protect Shield used from the Thelukarr side, and you have to wonder, is this even enough to knock out the Altaria?
It is, and that's what I talked about a bit earlier. You only have hard-hitting damage from this Pokemon, unless you're going to go up against the Steel-type Pokemon like here. The Fortress is going to enjoy the Steel-type damage and the Fairy-type damage of both here.
Saying, ain't no problem there, not very effective, barely knocking it down to half health, and now Thelukarr going for a little bit of a, quote, bait of his own there. This Sand Tomb is going to lower the defenses of that Clefable and at least being able to do a little bit more damage now with every single bug bite coming through.
Yeah, that's the benefit of that Fortress. That's why you see a lot of players going to run it, just because you have the option to debuff those stats, either defense or in this case, the attack. And this can help you out for the future matchups, as in comes now the Gurgeist. Well, this is not the best matchup for the Gurgeist. Now it takes a little bit less damage from those Shadow Balls.
Going ahead, throwing the first one, getting that first Protect Shield off the side of Thelukarr, knowing that this time there's no use to bait a Body Slam. We saw how little damage it did before, and Thelukarr now responding with a Seed Bomb of his own, trying to get this Licky nice and low, gets his first Protect Shield off of Wes.
And with the Incinerate damage adding up, you get them into the range where one Seed Bomb is going to be enough for the Licky, so it's going to be a very close matchup. But of course on the West side, you're still going to have 3 Pokemon left. This is going to give you a lot more flexibility than for the Thelukarr.
Both shields now have been used in this little mid part of the matchup here. Shadow Ball is ready to go, throwing one rollout first, and now the next one goes through. Will Thelukarr want to use the shield? He knows that it is a debuffed Shadow Ball, but it is super effective. Still wants to keep that Gurgeist nice and healthy. Uses last Protect Shield, and in comes Altaria to throw a Sky Attack.
That Sky Attack does not have a Protect Shield anymore. The Protect Shields are not available, and so the Sky Attack is going to do so much damage, nearly knocking out the Gurgeist, and in comes immediately the Fortress, but can we see the full farm down here? Sky Attack comes through again to knock out the Fortress.
Wow, Altaria just on a roll here. Those Dragon Breaths aren't doing too much, but those charge attacks are knocking out the Fortress, pinning that Gurgeist back in. Thelukarr has to try to go for a farm down, but will he be able to incinerate down? He does. He comes out with a ton of energy, but will it be enough to knock out both the Licky and the Clefable?
This is going to be very close. Of course, the Clefable would definitely be knocked out by the Seed Bomb, but the Licky, can it hold on here? Can it hang on? It is going to be able to just barely survive, and the Body Slam is going to knock out the Gurgeist.
It's not very effective, but it doesn't matter when there's 1 HP left there. Wes able to make it to that Body Slam, able to knock out the Gurgeist, taking game 1 and game number 2.
Oh, what a performance there. Licky showcasing yet again why it's the most common Pokemon. It is so safe, it is such great coverage, and does hit so hard still with that Shadow Ball. Congratulations to Wes for a great first start into the regional. It's always kind of nice to start off with a 2-0 win. But also the Thelukarr, well done, a lot of good catches I felt like from him as well. Yeah. So definitely not out of the competition, still going to be fighting its way through the losers bracket.
That's right, in a double elimination.